Packers at Panthers. This was the best matchup of the early slate of afternoon games on this Sunday. It also featured the return of Packers leader Aaron Rodgers back from his broken collarbone injury. Rodgers showed a little bit of rust, but still made it exciting in the end. But the Panthers pulled out the 31-24 victory. Rodgers threw for 290 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions in the loss. Cam Newton showed his old MVP form, throwing 4 touchdowns in the win. Christian McCaffrey was the main focus for the Panthers offense, totaling 136 total yards and a touchdown. CT, are the Panthers the most dangerous team in the NFC?
I wouldn't necessarily peg them as the most dangerous team. They are one of the most dangerous teams. Certainly the Minnesota Vikings, another club that's very dangerous. They just destroyed the Cincinnati Bengals. But what an exciting ball game. It looked like Carolina had this one in the bag, but Aaron Rodgers and the Packers would not go away. And so many people were focusing on the return of Rodgers. But you can't forget about Cam Newton. They're trying to win the NFC South Division title, and he was carving up this Packers defense. 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. You mentioned what Christian McCaffrey did, but Newton happy to have Greg Olsen back. Olsen, the tight end, missed a significant amount of time with a foot injury. 9 catches for him, 116 receiving yards. That is Newton's go-to target. On the flip side, Rodgers playing for the first time since week 6. Threw the football 45 times. That's a lot to ask of Aaron Rodgers when he missed so much time with that broken collarbone. Did show some rust that was to be expected, but at the end of the day, with the Packers' playoff hopes on life support, the question is, do you roll Rodgers out in these final couple of games? Because if Atlanta wins their football game, that means the Packers will officially be eliminated from playoff contention. And if you don't have anything to play for, do you risk it with Rodgers the next couple of weeks? So. That is the question that Mike McCarthy has to answer. And I do agree with you. If they're out of the playoffs, I don't put Rodgers out there the next couple of weeks. I'll just let Hundley start these last couple of games.
If they are, though, in the play, like they are almost
if the Falcons lose.
So would you put Aaron Rodgers in?
Yeah, if they still have a chance to make the playoffs, you have to put Rodgers in. Certainly, you know, that's the reason they brought him back, to give them a shot at making the playoffs. Jordy Nelson didn't have a good game in this one. Devontae Adams, one of his main targets, left with a concussion. But as long as you have Rodgers out there, you have a chance. But I knew just trying to beat this Carolina team that plays such tough defense, that's a tall task. And next week, when you look at Green Bay, I believe they had a Minnesota Vikings next week, which is another tough opponent, one of the toughest teams in the NFL. So certainly it will be tough sledding for the Green Bay Packers. Again, they do have the Minnesota Vikings. So they had a tough 3 games. The Packers lost this first one. Minnesota Vikings, another tough one as well. We'll see how it shakes out. But if Atlanta wins, I think that renders all this moot, and I think that Mike McCarthy wouldn't start Rodgers.
Good to see Rodgers back, but no point in risking it if they can't make it into the playoffs. For all your NFL news, keep it locked right here on Stadium.